We can control the width and height of an element using the width and height declarations. For the purpose of this lesson, we'll apply various width and height attributes to a div to see the effect. To start, open the HTML file in your Downloads folder corresponding to this lesson. The file contains a div in the body and one ID selector, div1, which has been applied to the div. Let's preview this file in our web browser to see what it looks like. Here we can see the div is 100% width of the content area and 500 pixels in height, with a blue background. If we scale the browser window up and down, we can see that the div expands and contracts to suit the size of the content area. It is always 100% of the content area's width. CSS allows different values to be attributed to the width and height declaration. We'll begin with minimum width. Min width can be used to specify the minimum amount of width an element must be. Since the width is currently set to 100% of the content area, it will automatically stretch and contract with the browser window, as we saw previously. If we wanted to maintain a minimum fixed width of at least 600 pixels, we can apply the following declaration. Now, after you've saved your file, let's go ahead and refresh our browser. And this time you'll see that when the browser window becomes smaller than 600 pixels, we get the horizontal scroll bars. This is because this div, its minimum width must be 600 pixels. It will not go below that value. In addition to min width, we also have maximum width or max width. So if we set the maximum width to 800 pixels, now save the file and we refresh the browser, you'll notice that the div now does not go beyond 800 pixels. So we have a minimum width set at 600 and a maximum of 800. Width can also be set to auto. So let's go ahead and set the width declaration value to auto. And this will make the width of the element automatically sized to its container. In this case, the div is not nested in another div, so it will expand to the full size of the browser's content area. Now we do have to remove the max width declaration in order for the auto declaration to work. So once you've saved, refresh your browser, and you'll notice that it now scales to the full width of the content area automatically. Similar to min width and max width, we also have min height and max height. These values can be stated in pixels or percentage, just like they can with min width and max width. An important difference between the width and height declarations is that setting the height to 100% will not result in your div occupying 100% of your browser's content area. So for example, if we were to change the height here to 100% and refresh our content area, refresh our browser, you'll notice that the div disappears altogether. In order to do this, we need to use the VH unit that's available with recent versions of CSS. VH, which stands for viewport height, ensures that the element stretches to the full height 100% of any device's viewport. So let's go ahead and change the height value to 100 VH. Save the file. And when we refresh, you can see that it is now 100% of the height and 100% of the width.